Peace, family. What's going on? I'm going to be running through a 26 update of the door to business credit. So I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide of some great fundamentals and foundations you need to get funding. This is going to be kind of going over a revised edition of what I've did several years ago, and this is just going to be part one. But by the end of the series, I'm going to give you updated vendors, merchants, different things like that that you can actually use to get funding. All right, but let's just start with the foundation, so you have something good to build off of. And oh yeah, as always, I'm not a financial accountant or professional financier or anything like that. So please discuss this information before you do anything with your business to somebody that is qualified. All right. So with that being said, business credit is similar to personal credit, meaning that you obtain an EIN number for that business from the IRS.gov website, and essentially it builds a business credit profile to the business credit bureaus in similar fashion to the way that a SSN and an individual build credit by the traditional credit bureaus that you know. How do you use it? Essentially, you're going to be the business is going to be using it um, for purchases, credit cards, products, cars, cell phones, gas cards, real estate loans. Essentially, when you think of it, it's like living. The business, has expenses the same way the individual does, and that's it in layman's terms. So let's get to it. How do I use it? Okay, here's a prime example of a net 30. Let's say a popular chip company that sells tortilla chips. Um, say your business, say you the Frito pie man, and you need a bunch of Fritos, but you need them, what I'm saying? You need them to front you the Fritos first, then you go sell the Fritos, and then you pay them their money back. Okay, so pretty much that's what a net 30 is. You would actually get your chips. You have 30 days. You will be invoiced, and you have to pay those chips within the 30 days. And essentially, that's how a lot of businesses operate, and that's how you essentially build business credit in that fashion. You have different net accounts, net 10, 20, 30. Net 30 is just a common one. All right, let's get into it. How do I obtain business credit? So one of the biggest areas people may not realize is actually the structuring and the setting up that makes your business credible. I look at it like, when you're filling out an application, you don't want there to be any flags of fraudulent um, type of things that pop up on the radar. So you want to make sure that the business is in good standing, and we'll get into a little bit more about what that means later. Also, the quickest way normally that the majority of people would get funded is by having a good personal credit score to personal be a personal guarantee, or excuse be a personal guarantor that pretty much is like co-signing for the business. So you will be the individual will be held liable for any debts that aren't paid and things like that. Now, this is not 100% thing that you have to personal guarantee, but it is probably like 90-95%. Is high for the general population. Okay, and we'll get into a little bit more of that later. All right, but yes, you can get business credit funding without a person being a personal guarantor. It's just you have to have meet other criteria. So, some of the foundation of business credit will be the entity. So you have different entities, whether you're a LLC, corporation. If you're operating, you've graduated and you've operating in trust and nonprofits and different things like that. But so not to harp on that too much, but you get it. You have to have an entity. Then you have to have a business address with that entity. You have to have a EIN and a DUNS number associated with that entity. You have to have a business phone number for that entity. You have to have a business website for that entity, a business email, business bank account, um, merchant accounts. Um, more relevant nowadays, and that actually will lean into the leverage part that I'll talk about as well. So all of these things that you have for this business has to be across the board, matching everywhere. Your address has to be on file with the Secretary of State. That has to be on file with your local. Has to be on file with wherever you register your business. All this information needs to be 100% the same, as much as possible everywhere. So, like I said, you don't get any flags when you're going to the banks and applying. And let's see. The truth of the matter is, all the business. Yes, as I said before, you should contact a tax accountant or attorney before you make the decision to file for your business and actually see what kind of entity that makes sense for you. A sole proprietorship can obtain an EIN as well, but it's no separation between the individual and the business. But you can actually get an EIN, and so therefore you can build business that way, as well. But that's not what I'm discussing in this book or in this presentation. Sorry. Some things to consider will be your business name, your SIC code, and NAISC code. So when you're actually starting a business, you typically would want to get into an industry that's not a high risk industry, even though I've seen high risk industries, so-called, actually get pretty good funding. So this is something to consider. If it's not, when you're registering with your state and city and everything like that. Some states vary, but look up the SIC code and the NEISC code that is actually pertaining to the type of business you're in. So these are some industries that would actually look high risk. Okay, stuff dealing with money, oil, petroleum, things like that. Those are usually automatic declines. Gun stores or whatever. But uh, like I said, there's ways to get different types of funding for different type of businesses, but this is just a general outlook of something to be mindful of. Businesses like Amazon and Yahoo, Google, they don't really have names that are pertaining to one particular thing. So that may be something to consider too, because sometimes your business pivots and branches out, and you can actually still be in a good position to get funding, but maybe your mission changes. All right. So in Texas, it's about $300, but it varies, uh, and it varies everywhere. Okay, some people go to places like LegalZoom or Inc. or something like that to help with their business. But if you go to the Secretary of State, it should have all the information for your state on how to set it up and what it costs. It could be low as $50, $100, and it could be more. All right. So obtaining a business address. This is one big thing. I know we're in the digital age nowadays, but as far as what it looks like on paper, you need to have some type of brick and mortar location. Most businesses, successful businesses, do. A residential address, it can be used, but it's not ideal because people can look your information up publicly really easy, and associated with your home, as well as the bigger funding you get, it will not necessarily um, it'll not look good, but it is possible to use a residential address. I want to say not to, but think bigger for your business. So in that case, brick and mortar. And if you can't do that, a good alternative would be a co-working space or a virtual office that allows for actual mailing address, with your own unit number. Okay, so those are very common and popular nowadays. Places like Regis, uh, and stuff like that help you out. But if you just look up local shared office workspaces in your area or nearest metro area where your business is operating out of, you can actually find that. Okay. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the EIN, which is your employer identification number. If you have a job and you file taxes as an individual, you will notice that you have your employer has an EIN. Okay, now your business will have an EIN as well. It is free. It is free. It is free. Do not pay anyone to get an EIN. Go directly to the irs.gov website and get the EIN for free. It comes in seconds, minutes after you fill out the proper application. Print the document out, save it, screenshot it. You can get it mailed, but I just, I would download the PDF, print it, save it, put it in your business document binder. Okay. The DUNS number is going to be um, one of the biggest credit reporting agencies or bureaus as far as business credit is concerned. Typically, they call their number a paydex score, and the paydex does populate by itself when you have about 3 or more accounts reporting to Dun and Bradstreet. But you can just go to dnb.com, sign up with a free on the free part, put in all your business information. Once again, make sure it's all accurate: the business address, the business phone, the business website, the business email. Make sure all this information is the same across the board. Uh, Apply for the free one. They might try to upsell you, call you, check in, and all that, but all you need is the free one. And once you start getting these net accounts, it'll automatically start populating and generating a score. Okay, now you need a business phone number. Okay, a couple different ways to get a business phone number. I do not recommend using your personal cell phone number for the business phone number. Create a separate business phone number. Most businesses have a 800 toll number. Okay, if you use sites like Ring Central, Freedom Voice, and I'm sure there are others, you can actually get you an 800 or 888 type of phone number, and then that way your business can be legitimate. They can have it set up for you to press 1 for this department, press 2 for this person, different things like that. Okay, so look you up a good business uh, phone number. Now a business website. Okay, now when you get a business website, you can go to places like everybody knows GoDaddy.com. You have Namecheap.com, NameHero.com. There's several other places to actually get a business website. But if you go to, like, say, GoDaddy, it's easy. You can go to other places where you actually have to set it up yourself. And essentially, when you get your business website, that's going to tie in um, to the next thing that I'm going to talk about as far as business email. Okay, for the business website, I'm not here to break down how to do a business website. You can do a one page, you can do a template. Some people do pay monthly for Squarespace, whatever. Okay, so business email. As you can see in this example, a professional email would include something similar to info@toosmarttobebroke.com, where you can see here that the actually .com website is not Gmail, which is unprofessional, right? So if you're doing business and you're applying at these banks, these places to receive credit for the business, you need to have a business professional email that is actually connected to the website. Now, if you actually get a website and say you're not super savvy, you can sign up for Google Workspace. Used to be Google Suites, I think, back in the day. You can sign up for Google Workspace, and you can use your Gmail, and you can enter your website information, create a actual whatever your name is, john@abc.com, or whatever your name is, and create a professional email that way. So that is something that you actually need to do, right? So Google Workspace is easy. If not, go through GoDaddy or something like that. And a lot of them keep it simple, but you understand that sometimes you got to pay to play. All right. This is another big one right here. Listing your business on the internet. Okay, the number one place people search for your business is going to be Google. So you have to go to Google, list your business on Google. They're going to actually mail something to the business address so you can receive the mail, so you can verify it, so you can actually have your business on Google.com. People can leave you reviews. Have you ever ate somewhere? They gave you good service, bad service, stayed at a hotel, something like that. That's how you want your business to be, because it's a real business. You list yourself on Bing. Okay, and then this is a big one people forget. Listyourself.net is pretty much the online free way to list your business as in the 411 in the phone book. Some of you may not be old enough, but if you're on the channel, you probably know what that is. Okay, so to verify this listing, I don't know if this has changed. I have to verify this, but it used to be area code 555. Excuse me, 555-1212. Ask for city and state of your business, and then the operator will connect you. Tell me that ain't throwback. Okay, listyourself.net. Now, business bank account. Having a business bank account is essential to establishing business credit, because because I mean that's how your day, the day that you get a business bank account essentially is the real day that your business is actually stepping into the arena. You know what I'm saying, and getting started. So typically you want to have your certificate of filing or your articles of organization, depending on what state you're in, your business is in, and you get that when you actually file a business at the Secretary of State. Then you get your EIN, and you have your operating agreement. It just depends on the bank. Okay, now I didn't speak about operating agreements, but again, you could look this stuff up. LegalZoom Inc., other places have an advisor to help you out. I like to keep everything in a binder, be professional, print it out, put every document in the sleeve that I need. So when I walk into the bank, I have everything organized, everything that I need, and all in one place. All right, and you can actually keep all these documents in a PDF on your phone. Nowadays it's easier to access this stuff. All right, so you got to get that business bank account. Now, leverage to get funding. Getting funding for some business requires some sort of leverage. The most common leverage would be a personal guarantee, personal guarantor, PG. I talked about that, and you essentially, far as leverage, you need if your business is making a bunch of money already, if you have some type of product, or can't think of the word now, but if you have something, oh man, y'all know what I'm trying to say. But if you have something to leverage, as far as like if you're a car dealership and you have a bunch of cars, okay, that could allow you to get some type of financing or credit. If you're using things like actually merchants like Squarespace, excuse me, not Squarespace, like Square, merchants, that your bank sometimes actually allows you to use credit cards, Stripe, things like that. They actually allow you to get credit as well. All right, so we talked about PG, and this is another way, with your bank account having $10,000 or more for 3 months, and typically having tax returns for the past 3 years. Now, this is not everywhere, but these are most places. Some places you can walk in, um, with an EIN, business structure funding, a decent credit score, and you can get no documentation funding. You know what I'm saying, for 20, 30,000 or something like that. No, no relative big numbers in business. All right. Now, as far as business reporting agencies, I think I did discuss Dun and Bradstreet, but you also have Business Experience and Business Equifax. And essentially, when you start getting with these net 30s, and these vendors, they'll actually begin reporting. Okay, so after you got all this information, maybe you had a business for some years, you want to go back, put your make sure everything is matching on everything, website, email, all of that stuff. Okay, and then the best, for me. Now, there's other things out there, but nav.com is a good way to keep track of all your monitoring service. They actually have a product that helps you um, monitor the business. Okay, now this video has gotten sort of long, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop this, and then next video I get into the vendors and how to work your way up to actually obtaining some credit. I'll see y'all next time, and make sure to drop down in the comments with any questions. That way I can actually answer them moving forward. Thank you.